Popular 42-year-old gamer and live streamer Herschel Beahm earned quite the persona on YouTube and Twitch with the name drdisrespect. drdisrespect has some pretty impressive achievements under his belt. He invested in the Ember Sword video game and even got his own custom skin in Rogue Company. He also teamed up with WWE legend The Undertaker for a G Fuel ad. But things took a nosedive when Twitch banned him for sexting a minor. And soon after, YouTube and other companies cut ties, bringing his career to a screeching halt. Before he left us, though, he gave us quite a number of moments where he was brutally humiliated. Let's see 10 times Dr. Disrespect's over-the-top persona visited the headquarters of shame. Dr. Disrespect got smoked during a PUBG game. While playing against a random stranger who probably was much better than he was, Dr. Disrespect decided to blow his trumpet. He asked if the player knew who he was. The response, however, definitely broke his heart.
Do you know who I am?
Nope. Should I?
Trust me, that was just the first roast. Dr. Disrespect then gave a shout, "Yeah, you should," swinging his madness at not being recognized. Low blow, but definitely an uppercut punch to his name. Then, he went on to boasting about his 1993 to 1994 video game championships.
I'm the 1993-1994 two-time back-to-back blockbuster video game champion. Basically, I am a legendary, I know, calm down, a legendary international video gaming superstar.
Then, once he was done, the player asked if he played the 1985 Tetris game. Dr. Disrespect disgracefully blurted out his disappointment. He never played the game.
No. Okay, let's not go that far back, and let's watch your goddamn mouth.
Now that's a double roast if you ask me. He really just disrespected Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect trash-talking on a live stream. On one of his live streams while playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, he got into a wordy conflict with an opponent. He started the fire after all and got burnt real quickly. He then decided to ease the tension. I don't think the opponent got the memo. He didn't hold back against Dr. Disrespect. Realizing his reputation was falling apart both in the game and on his streams, he felt the need to take action. Unfortunately, it only ended up making things worse. He gave out a hiss like a snake and then...
Look at this bitch. 16 kills, Motown Frogman. Holy shit, I'd jump kick you right in your chest, you wouldn't do shit. Little pussy bitch.
Maybe he was only trying to defend himself. Wait, no, I don't think so. He just disgraced himself. But it's not only in games where Dr. Disrespect embarrasses himself. Even when he tries to sing, he manages to hit all the wrong notes. Vocal cords or vocal curse? Z disrespects the doctor. On a live stream, probably while in a music studio, Dr. Disrespect attempted voicing the chorus of his 2019 song, Give 'Em the Love.
Give 'em the love tonight.
Glorious, you think? Wait until you hear this same chorus from another YouTuber, Z.
Give 'em the love tonight.
Z has better vocals than Dr. Disrespect, and he definitely confirmed this with his reaction following Z's voice on chorus. It was quite clear he was disappointed, like someone else just sang his own song much better than he did.
Good afternoon.
Alex, remove the VOD. I can't have this guy. No. I can't have him showing the two-time up like this. I can't. We'll get rid of the VOD.
Yeah, that's shameful, but not as shameful as the next one. No invitation to Nadeshot's wedding. CEO of 100 Thieves and a former American professional KOD player, Matthew Hogg, aka Nadeshot, was a viral sensation during his time as a gamer. Nadeshot, let's stick to that, had known Dr. Disrespect for over a decade, as he mentioned in a live stream, and in the year before his wedding, he even played golf with the 6'8" YouTuber. So Nadeshot had his beautiful wedding in the later part of 2023. Guess who wasn't invited? Dr. Disrespect didn't take it lightly when he realized he didn't get the invite. In fact, he took it to social media to indirectly call out Nadeshot for not inviting him despite both of them hitting the golf field like besties. This turned out to be a huge mistake. On his live stream, Nadeshot gladly acknowledged that he didn't invite Dr. Disrespect and claimed that while he had known the giant for months, he had only just started hanging out with him.
The reason why Doc wasn't invited to my wedding was because I just started hanging out with Doc, and like I've known him for a long time, obviously.
He also added that while Dr. Disrespect made it seem like a huge deal online, Nadeshot didn't really see it as such and would have loved if he was around.
Decade. But we started playing golf together in this past year, and we had already sent invites out before we even started playing golf together. So he puts out this clip, which to this day I assume was a joke. That shit went super viral, and now people have been asking me about that at least once a day since he published that YouTube short or TikTok or Instagram reel, whatever it was. I have nothing against it. I would have loved if the fucking 7'9" phenom, two-time Blockbuster World back-to-back champion would have came to the wedding.
I believe Dr. Disrespect saw this video, reflected on how Nadeshot handled the situation professionally, and realized that he himself was acting like a child. The disgraceful scream that ended his career. On one of his live streams, right after a ban on Twitch, Dr. Disrespect went live to accuse the company of falsely blocking his account without consulting him or telling him what he did wrong. This move, however, birthed his downfall.
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
He basically screamed, "F***ing unbelievable," on his camera. Twitch had something to say, though. They made it believable. An employee of Twitch revealed online that the two-time champion, Dr. Disrespect, was using the app's whisper feature to sext a minor, and had even gone as far as planning a meetup. The company decided not to disclose this to the public at first, only blocking its account. His screams and abuses he threw at the company, while on stream, caused them to show the world his dirty side. Well, the doc didn't even argue. He knew he was doomed. Nadeshot on Dr. Disrespect's ban. After his ban on both Twitch and YouTube, fellow high-profile YouTubers and live streamers had one or two to say about the case. Nadeshot came out openly about the case. He said,
I really don't want to get into it. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to understand that I don't support talking to minors. I really don't bring drama into this stream.
He clearly opened up about his disappointment in Dr. Disrespect, stating that he, Nadeshot, has no desire to be involved, and that Dr. Disrespect was just a drama king on the web. The stream ended with Nadeshot saying that the fans wouldn't get anything from him anymore about the case, hinting at him cutting ties with Dr. Disrespect.
We're going to move past that. If you're looking to get much out of me, it ain't going to happen.
No one wants to play with Dr. Disrespect. Nadeshot wasn't the only one who severed ties with Dr. Disrespect. It was much worse in the gaming community. Doc said on Twitter, now called X, that he was going to stream a new game, Dreadlock, and was expecting his fans to turn up for the game. Right after he got into the interface, the number of players online dropped so suddenly, he had to question why they were leaving. It got even worse when all 5 of his teammates immediately quit the game and left him to fend for himself. Apparently, no one wants to play with a man who sexts minors. Even the game company, Deadlock Intel, retweeted his post and captioned it, "Dr. Disrespect is playing Deadlock today. Please avoid Q if you're a minor." That definitely is maximum humiliation for the doc, who realized that his long-built, sophisticated gaming career was coming to an abrupt end. I don't quite feel bad for him. His crime was way heinous. Dr. Disrespect tops Sadagascar's top 10 freaks of 2024. Dr. Disrespect's vile act landed him the top spot on another YouTuber's list of freaks for the year 2024, as the biggest pedophile Sadagascar, as his YouTube name goes, took his time to cook Dr. Disrespect, and he explained all the disgusting details of the case. He explained that the doc in ours was sexting with a 16-year-old on Twitch and had attempted linking up with her at an event to hit on her. He also mentioned another case where Dr. Disrespect was caught cheating on his wife with a transgender streamer. We'll get to this one very soon. Anyway, Do you think he deserves being #1 on the freak list? Let us know in the comments section. Dr. Disrespect admits to being unfaithful. Based on Sadagascar's allegations, you might be surprised to learn that Dr. Disrespect also cheated on his wife. But how? Dr. Disrespect came out publicly to admit that he had been unfaithful to his wife, Mrs. Assassin, stating that he cheated on her with a 24-year-old woman. Yeah, not a minor this time. Wearing a more casual outfit instead of his signature red and black with dark shades, he announced that he was taking a break from streaming and gaming to focus on his family.
I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful, and
His tears during the live stream made it clear that he was disappointed in himself, and to be honest, it's the ultimate humiliation. I mean, come on, you've got a wife and a kid. Why cheat? Anyway, despite everything, Mrs. Assassin didn't give up on him. Instead, she welcomed him back and worked things out with him. Dr. Disrespect was back to streaming 2 months later, though discussions on his cheating were still viral in the gaming community. Losing his empire in days. Following the sexting of minor allegations against Dr. Disrespect, his empire, which took him more than a decade to build, was rounded up to 0 when Twitch announced his ban. A number of his followers had to speak about his case, expressing quite deeply their displeasure.
Was talking inappropriately with a minor, where I truly believe this scumbag needs to be banned off of the platforms that he's on.
I don't know who's really going to support him at this point. Like, what kind of person is going to watch Dr. Disrespect? If you watch him at this point, you just have to be coping, basically.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the case of Dr. Disrespect, a once beloved streamer who is now being viewed as an unfaithful predator. But to fully
There you have it. 10 of the most embarrassing moments of Dr. Disrespect. Now you know the full story behind the sudden exit of the doc. From the gaming community and why his name has always been followed by really disturbing discussions. Sadly, we'll never see him return again. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Let me know in the comment section which of these moments you think is the most humiliating. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.